Today is a beautiful day. Soft sunlight spills over the valley, where clusters of lupins are in full bloom, painting the hillsides in shades of violet. That purple blends gently with the muted green of sagebrush, forming a serene portrait of nature. Whenever I stand here and take a deep breath, I can smell the cool freshness of mint mixed with the sweetness of wildflowers, a scent so unique. It feels like it belongs only to this place. It makes me feel like I'm coming home, not just to a location, but to myself. But I haven't always felt this sense of peace. Since I was a teenager, I often found myself swept up in waves of inexplicable sadness, emotional highs and lows that I couldn't quite understand. Back then, I believed I was someone who simply wasn't meant to be happy. That the emptiness would always be part of me. I didn't realize that, with time and growth, things could change. In my youth, I couldn't imagine that one day, I might find peace, not in some faraway place, but within myself, if only I learned to listen and accept. I once believed I was the kind of person who couldn't be happy. The emotional shifts, cheerful one moment, heavy-hearted the next, seemed like an endless loop throughout my younger years. I didn't understand why I felt that way and didn't think anything could change. I thought something was wrong with me, that this sense of being lost would always follow me. But eventually, as I matured, I found the courage to seek help. I spoke with a doctor and shared things I had never said out loud. They listened not just to my mind, but helped me care for my body, something I'd never truly done before. Slowly, I began to understand that my emotions were not a flaw. There were reasons behind what I felt. And most importantly, I realized that healing was possible. But healing was only the beginning. Once the old wounds started to fade, I faced a harder truth. I needed to rebuild myself, from the ground up. There was no magic moment where I woke up and everything was okay. Peace wasn't something that just appeared, and sometimes, sadness would return, quietly but persistently. It followed me even here, amidst the beauty of nature. Then I began to wonder, maybe sadness isn't as frightening as I once thought. Maybe it exists for a reason. It asks us to pause, to feel more deeply, to slow down, and in that vulnerability, I sensed something unexpected. My heart was still beating. I was still alive, still feeling, and that, in itself, was something beautiful. We're often taught that happiness should be constant, that if we aren't joyful all the time, something is wrong. But I've learned otherwise. Life was never meant to be an uninterrupted string of bliss. The darker days, the moments when we feel fragile, they're a natural part of the journey. What matters is having the courage to reach out for support, from friends, professionals, nature, or anyone who can remind us that we're not alone. A friend once told me, we are living memorials to what we've lost, loved ones, pets, memories, and even former versions of ourselves. That thought once brought tears to my eyes. I remembered the little girl I used to be, bright, hopeful, believing in all things good. For a long time, I thought I had lost her somewhere along the way, to growing up, to responsibility, to wounds I didn't know how to name. But eventually, I realized, she had never really left. She was still there, quietly waiting for me to return, gently reaching out her hand, hoping I'd let myself dream again. That was the moment I understood, we get to choose, to let the past weigh us down, or to let it strengthen us. I chose to walk forward with that little girl by my side. Not by erasing the past, but by making peace with it. And from deep within, I began to hear a small voice, hers, mine, whispering, everything is going to be okay. And I believed it, not because life had suddenly become perfect, but because I had learned how to believe in myself again. From that belief, a quiet seed of happiness began to sprout, slowly, but steadily. It found its way into my mornings, into moments when I paused to look at the sky, to breathe deeply, or simply to smile at a stranger. I stopped searching for joy in faraway places. It was right here, in the small things I used to overlook. And if you, too, feel tired, if you've ever felt like you've lost a part of yourself, I want to tell you this. You are not broken. You are simply in the process of finding your way back to yourself. And that is enough. Wishing you a gentle day, filled with beauty, peace, and love, even just a little of each.